I'm Jay Graber, and I will be moderating the event. Each candidate will have a minute to introduce themselves, a minute to answer questions, and a final minute for closing thoughts.
Thank you. I'm Bob Lettieri. I came to Arizona in 1979. I've been a resident of Scottsdale for about 26 years. I'm a CFO by training. If you take a look at my educational background, I have degrees in accounting, finance, and economics, undergraduate and 2 graduate degrees. Service is very important in the Lettieri family. I have 2 sons that are military. My son Matthew has been in 2 campaigns in Iraq, and my son Christopher always touts himself as, when he was in Afghanistan, the only critical care doctor in the country, not in the Army, but in the country. So what I'm going to bring to the table is as follows. You heard today that they reduced the tax rate. You want to know what that is? So misleading. You're not going to get that crap from me because assessments have increased. So net, your property taxes are going up. That's the kind of clarity and transparency I'm going to bring to the table. I'm a CFO. I've been held accountable by shareholders. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Question number 1. What are the most pressing issues in this election?
When I was out canvassing, getting signatures and handing in my palm cards to the citizens of Scottsdale, what they told me is their big concerns were overbuilding, which is creating density, traffic problems, and crime problems. So as I look at it, we have 4,000 apartments in the pipeline. So it sounds to me like we're heading in the wrong direction to solve density, traffic problems, and crime problems. We need to get, as a council, more involved in the planning, the early stage planning of these events to make sure that they're not going to add to density, and we have an answer to handling the more traffic. I don't think that they're doing a good job in analyzing these projects. They get involved after the fact like Monday morning quarterbacks. So I'm going to bring that financial discipline, that critical thinking discipline to the skills of the council.
Yes or no, do you support the road diets, also known as street enhancements or improvements?
On February 25th, I presented a citizen's petition here at City Hall. It was signed by over 300 people that have identified 6 roads for reclassification or road diets that they wanted taken off that plan. Now, that's 300 citizens that are speaking out against road diets. I also wonder how they came up with this plan. Now, there was a definitive traffic study done in Maricopa County. It said that bike lanes are not the answer because most of accidents with bikes happen at an intersection. So a bike lane is not going to solve that. So I think that we really need to look at the reasoning behind being presented a plan where they have over 25 roads for reclassification. I do think it's an issue. If we don't speak out against it, it'll happen. So that's what I brought to the council, and this is the reply that I got. They answered within the required time of 30 days, and they said that, thank you for your input, but we're going to go by what the council, the staff represents.
Thank you, sir. There have been tens of millions in cost overruns on multiple city projects. How do you propose to end this history of failure?
I'm CFO of a local company just walking distance from here. That's basically investor funded, and the investors sit on the board. And any project over $25 million, we present to them for their approval. Now, if I presented a project for $25 million and I came in a couple of months later or a year later and said, by the way, it's $68 million, do you think I'd have a job? No. Where's the accountability? Where's the responsibility for tax holders' money? I mean, it's easy just to tax and spend. One of the items that were brought up that night, the council member said, what if we don't approve? The gentleman said we'd have a lawsuit. Well, guess what? I take the lawsuit because that's how we get an answer to why there's that type of overrun.
Your closing statement.
Yes, well, as a true grassroots guy, the only endorsement I'm looking for is the citizens of Scottsdale. So for the citizens of Scottsdale have told me their concerns are urbanization or density, traffic, crime. We have 4,000 unbuilt apartment houses in the pipeline. How is that going to solve any of their concerns? So what I bring to the table is a planning discipline. I'm going to get involved in the decisions early on, challenge the assumptions, not afraid to push back. I think that we are headed in the wrong direction if we believe what the citizens have told me and know that there are 4,000 new apartments in the pipeline that are only going to create a worse problem. So I'm going to push back on it, and I'm going to fight for what the citizens of Scottsdale told me their concerns are.